did not invade Ukraine until Biden took over. We had the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which projected weakness through the world. People understood that we were enfeebled, and that is what was provocative. Weakness is provocative. Trump destabilized these people. They didn't know what to expect of him. Next thing you know, he's bombing Soleimani. Trump did strategic strikes that had people on their heels. They didn't know what he might do to them, and we did not have Putin invade
It's what he might
Ukraine.
do to us that I'm a little more worried.
Megyn Kelly stormed onto Real Time with Bill Maher and wasted no time diving straight into America's most explosive debates. From the medical treatment of transgender youth to U.S. foreign policy and even the rise of so-called fascism. Kelly came out swinging. She didn't hedge, she didn't soften her blunt delivery, shook both and the audience, drawing a mix of gasps, groans, and bursts of applause. This wasn't a polite conversation, it was a head-on collision of worldviews. Kelly took aim at what she called woke dogma, exposing media bias and demanding accountability for the real-world fallout of reckless policies. It was raw, it was unscripted, and it was utterly uncompromising.
Maybe as important is what we're doing to our children with this trans insanity. I mean, this is almost my single issue. We are chopping off the healthy body parts of young children without 100%. We are doing that.
Well, we are definitely doing that.
Without any inquisition.
That's what it is. So
into
I don't know
what's
what
happening.
the oohing is about.
I don't either. Pay attention, because I'm about to give you a truth bomb. Kids who are suffering from bullying, or who have been sexually assaulted, or who are going through normal puberty and feel uncomfortable in their bodies, will say to their parents, I'm not sure, maybe I'm gender confused. They will send them into a psychiatrist or psychologist who are told by our organizations, the American Psychiatry Association, and all the others that run their licensing, you must affirm. Affirm is the only standard. And so the child gets told, you're right, you are secretly a boy, or vice versa. And the child gets put on puberty blockers, into cross-sex hormones, which sterilize a child and deprive the child of any chance of sexual pleasure for the rest of his or her life. We're talking about 9, 10, 11-year-olds who cannot give informed consent. Then they have body parts chopped off by a medical establishment and by...
Kelly takes direct aim at the medical treatment of gender-confused minors, condemning the use of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries as reckless and irreversible. She argues that these life-altering interventions are being rushed onto vulnerable kids without addressing deeper issues such as bullying, trauma, or the natural struggles of adolescence. Kelly accuses the medical and mental health establishment of caving to ideological pressure-choosing. Affirmation over investigation, thereby trapping children in choices that can lead to infertility, loss of function, and lifelong regret. In her view, this isn't compassion at all. It's medical malpractice, fueled not by science or care, but by politics and ideology.
Believe in these doctors, and they shouldn't. And when they inevitably get past the awkwardness of puberty or what have you, and they want to turn around and detransition, those who love bomb them on Reddit saying, come on in, the water's fine, abandon them. They are depressed. They have changed their bodies forever in a way that is irreversible. And we are all sitting back saying, it's a remote issue, as Kamala Harris said. It's not remote. It's the issue of our time, both with respect to children and women's rights.
As Kelly pushes further, the atmosphere in the room shifts. Uneasy groans ripple through the audience, interrupted by scattered bursts of applause. The crowd sways between outrage and reluctant agreement, a live snapshot of division. Kelly seizes on this moment, pointing to it as proof of selective truth-telling in media spaces. She argues that Maher has cultivated an audience conditioned to cheer only when progressive orthodoxy is affirmed, and to recoil the second it's challenged. In her view, this isn't just about one debate, it's a reflection of the broader culture of echo chambers, where approved narratives are celebrated while dissent is mocked or silenced. What unfolds on stage becomes less a conversation and more a mirror, exposing the deep ideological divide running through American discourse.
We thought when the Ukraine war started, Putin would be isolated. He's not isolated. He had the BRICS nation. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now 4 or 5 other countries. It's about half the world's population, about 35% of the GDP. He's got North Korean troops in his war in Ukraine now. He's very chummy with China. China and Russia always hated each other, not anymore, and Iran. These are the dictator countries. There's a very worldly feeling here when the dictator countries are getting together. I mean, in World War II, what did Hitler and the Japanese have in common? Nothing, except they saw the world one way. fascism. They all have to do it in their different way. Iran is a fascist country in their own way. So is China, so is Russia, Saudi Arabia, you could say also. Somehow, the world seems to be dividing between the good guy countries, the democratic countries, and these autocracies. And if your guy gets in, we're going to be on the wrong side.
One of the most heated moments of the exchange came when the debate turned to accusations of fascism. While critics often brand as authoritarian, Megyn Kelly flipped the charge back on the administration. She pointed to what she called blatant government overreach, citing student loan bailouts, rental assistance programs, and even the weaponization of the Justice Department against political opponents despite court rulings. In her view, this isn't democracy, it's abuse of power. Bill Maher pushed back, warning about the potential for authoritarian rule if Trump were to be re-elected. But Kelly stood her ground, insisting that recent Democratic actions resemble fascism far more closely. To her, the real danger lies in the hypocrisy of labeling as a threat while ignoring the overreach happening right now.
Not invade Ukraine until Biden took over. We had the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which projected weakness through the world. People understood that we were enfeebled, and that is what was provocative. Weakness is provocative.
I feel like
Trump destabilized these people. They didn't know what to expect of him. Next thing you know, he's bombing Soleimani. Trump did strategic strikes that had people on their heels. They didn't know what he might do to them, and we did not have Putin invade
It's what he might
Ukraine.
do to us that I'm a little more worried. I just
had 4 years of Trump. We've had 4 years of Trump.
Yeah.
Trump did not go after his political enemies with the Department of Justice.
Right.
That was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Well, we had Hitler in the 30s and things were okay, and then we had Hitler in the 40s and they got way worse. Just because we had him.
He hid his Hitlerism the first 4 years, and it's going to come out in full force.
He tried to do things like that. He tried to do dictatorial fascist things, and he was stopped.
Joe Biden has flouted the law when it comes to these student loan giveaway programs. He's flouted the law. Supreme Court opinions that told him he didn't have the right to do it, and he openly said, I will get around the Supreme Court. He did it with respect to rent abatement programs, the same exact thing. And then he and Kamala Harris unleashed this Department of Justice against their political enemy, Donald Trump, their #1 chief rival for the presidency.
Okay. Well, we'll
Is it funny? Because they did it.
We'll see.
You want to talk fascism? That's fascist.
I think history is not going to be kind to your point of view, but I appreciate you coming on and saying thank you.
Kelly goes even further when the conversation shifts to foreign policy. She defends record, arguing that his unpredictability served as a deterrent, pointing out that Russia never invaded Ukraine during his tenure. She contrasts that with withdrawal from Afghanistan, which she says projected weakness and emboldened America's adversaries. For Kelly, weakness is provocative, and the current administration's foreign policy has only fueled global instability. Her frustration with the audience grows as they scoff and groan at her arguments, which she insists are grounded in facts. She accuses them of proving her very point that liberal media culture has become an echo chamber, rejecting inconvenient truths rather than engaging with them honestly. The exchange closes with her stark warning: ideological conformity is poisoning real debate and leaving America blind to the hard truths it most needs to confront.